just before the song. Took about 20 minutes, so it's nothing really fleshed out yet. And I'm going to basically just continue through this. My style of like writing and producing and going through like, continuing a track basically. So I'll just play what I've got so far. And I'll give you an idea of what's sort of going on here. Basically, with the vocals, I've done like vocodism, which is combining a vocal file, like a vocal sample, with a synth, using like any kind of vocoder. What I've used here is MDA Talkbox. It's a free plugin. It basically just combines a synth signal and a vocal file to create, like a modulator, which is usually vocals, to create, that robotic kind of effect. I'll solo them for you so you can hear them clearly. I know where everything is. And this. Nope, not that. Oh god. After all this time you would have thought I'd know where everything in FL Studio is, but I've got the actual vocals in there. Mute those. And that's a layer of 3 different vocoders. Since vocoders work in a way that you kind of need to separate them out if you want to do harmonies, otherwise it'll sound really messy. So I've got 3 vocoders set up here, each one playing a different harmony. So you've got like the high harmony, mid one, that's the bass. And yeah, I've just basically followed the chord progression of the song that I've sort of written out. So that's the vocoding part of it. I've also compressed them quite a lot. It's been like just to push them out in front of the mix and the drums and everything. So the rest, I've got the bass is pretty simple. Yeah, simple bass. What I have here is massive. It's a subtractive synth, which is basically combining certain oscillators to build up a sound. You usually have 2 or 3 oscillators to work with. Here, the massive is sort of a wavetable one, so it has like certain waves sort of loaded into it. I just usually choose random ones and see what sounds cool and play about with it a bit. Pretty much it. That just sounds like, basically came out like a pulse wave, but it's not. Hello? Thank you. I also have these prints here to go out and install. The musician store.
I'm also not going to sign anything else with those prints anymore, I'm just saying.
You can buy a print of my horse. So, and there's also these CDs here you can also grab for no money.
Well, we accept donations.
Yeah.
£10.
Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. If you have any questions about what I'm doing or what I haven't explained yet, or want me to go into detail about something, just like raise your hand and Dave will come around and you can ask a question and I'll go into further detail about this, the element that you want. Or if you've got any questions like about techniques that I've done in past songs, I can sort of talk through or demonstrate what I did through this as well. So got any questions, hand up, Dave will come to you.
Yeah, nothing overly stupid, please. We had some very special ones last year.
Yeah.
Any questions, just follow me down.
Yeah. Alright, what else have I laid in here? I think this is just a kind of, a chiptune style pluck thing that I usually use just because it sounds good and I like it. And the way I made that is it's just a square wave, except the start of the sound is an octave below, and then it jumps to an octave higher. So it gives it that kind of blip sound. So if I mute this, take this off, this is how it normally sounds. It gives it that witty kind of 8-bit sound if you add this. I also laid it with reverb and delay because it fills out the sound. What else? I think that's it for this part. Like, I didn't write anything else apart from the drum sounds. I just mentioned samples and hi-hat. So, I'll start writing the rest of it, or add to this a little bit. I need to unmute everything. There we go. Oh yeah, what else I did with the vocals? Like with vocoding, it's best to use sort of a flat sort of signal. When you're singing for vocoding, vibrato kind of messes with vocoding a lot. Like Rarity's voice here is like the vibrato is the sort of up and down pitch of the voice. Her voice is raising and lowering in pitch, so that's called vibrato. And so I muted that while I took out the vocoding signal and replaced it with the actual vocal file, because otherwise it sounds, I'll demonstrate, it sounds like where am I signals? Yeah. I don't know where I've routed everything now, so the vocoding is, here it is, I found it. Yeah. So if I mute this, and keep this on, that sounds really strange. So I basically dropped that out and brought the original vocals back just to, compensate for that. I kind of like how that sounds right now on these speakers. So I'll move on from the rest. I'm probably not going to use the rest of the vocals just because it limits what I can do with a song. Normally when I remix it takes me a while to sort of figure out a chord progression for it, but as soon as I've got an empty space here, I can just fiddle about with whatever I want. So I'm just gonna just compose a random section that leads off from this and continues on that way. What I'll do here is just steal the first bass note from this, delete everything else. I think that's the karaoke here. I mean, what would have been faster right now if I just copied the bass straight over, but I'm awkward and I do things the wrong way. You don't need it. Whoa! You don't need any of this. Bless you. Right. file, like the MIDI for the song I used as a reference. I'll start with like composing a drum sort of pattern for it. Generally, I just go 4/4 if I'm feeling uncreative, but yeah. Yeah.
How do you get your MIDI and acapellas?
The MIDI I found like.
Howdy, job.
Okay. Anyway, the MIDI for this I found like it's not an official MIDI. It's someone made like on YouTube. They sort of like transcribe the song and put it in MIDI format for synesthesia, which is sort of like a program you use to learn how to play things on piano. Someone has composed that for this. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry about that. That wasn't my drink that I intended on drinking, but alright. Anyway, acapellas, I can't remember like specifically where I found them. Like, I think for this one I found it on the My Little Remix forums. Like, a lot of people on that forum, well, not a lot of people, but a certain person or a few people sort of post the acapellas for songs as soon as they come out. They sort of isolate the vocals from the iTunes, the iTunes download the episode, since it's got 5.1 sound, and they can isolate a single channel from that, so that's how they get the acapellas from it. That's it for MIDI and acapellas as much as I know. Like grabbing them. I usually just Google them and find them through that. So my voice is so rough now. Yeah. That's in a different key. We'll change that. Like, I've completely forgotten, so yeah, alright, I'm looking at that. Yeah, one thing I sort of go by as well, with basses, I kind of generally, as a general rule, I kind of follow where I put the kick drums, or vice versa. If I do a bass line, I generally have a kick as the bass comes in. That's one way of doing things. You can do it any way you want, but that's just the way that works for me generally. Going to use that as a drum really. It's pretty simple. I'll grab the hi-hat that I made over here as well, which is basically just a MIDI sequence that I've altered the velocities of each hi-hat, so it's like gives it a kind of rhythm to it. So normally it'd just be completely straight MIDI and sound really flat. So I edited the velocities, sort of give it I guess a humanish feel, but it's more rhythm than humanish. from this end. I've got the base down and can build towards from that. I've only got this so far, so I'll make a new thing. Unless what, I don't know what this is. Fair enough, that's just a lead sound. I'll name that real quick. We will make, I'll make superstore since that's common. So kind of a basic sound that, the sort of the first sound that I learned when I was, learning synthesis. So basically, what a superstore is multiple saw waves stacked on top of each other, but each one is tuned a little differently. So it sort of creates this phasing sound and makes it really rich in tonality and it really fills out the space. So what we start with is just a saw wave. We'll stack another saw wave on top of that and detune it slightly. So if you put another saw on, it's just going to sound the same but a bit louder. But if you detune it slightly, it gives it that phasing sort of sound. We'll stick another one on and detune it a bit again, the opposite way. So that's simple.
Remind me.
I do. You'll not hear from me again. But yeah. That's a simple saw wave. We can make it bigger with massive, but it will kill the CPU. Massive is very CPU hungry, but we can sort of in the voicing tab you can increase how many instances of this play at the same time, and you can detune through this as well. So I'm basically, this is 3 oscillators playing right now, and I put the unisono up to 3 again, so that's 9 off, 9, I can do that. 9 oscillators at the same time, which I've detuned again, so it makes it a bit bigger as well. And I'll turn the gain down since that's clipping. And clipping is basically when the signal goes over the 0 dB point. The signal can't physically go over that point, so it just cuts it off completely. So if you've got a sine wave and you boost that over the point, it will cut the the nice curve that it had to begin with and just become a sort of, it comes up and completely cuts off and then goes back down. So you want to try and avoid doing that. It'll affect how things sound and make things sort of unpleasant usually. We'll add a reverb again to fill out the space. Alright. I don't know what I'll do here. I'll just throw a rhythm of chords out. where I sort of play around with melodies and things. As for now, start with the split and add sort of a backing to it, sort of an arpeggio thing. I sort of kind of try and hear the melody in my head, sort of hum it a bit, and then try and find a note that corresponds with what I'm humming or what I'm thinking in my head. So,
Good question. What is like this thing? I feel like forever I've been trying to figure out what this means.
the snap tool is
Yeah.
basically, huh?
No, because in the camera tool, it really snaps to the grid and everything, but I never understood what it means in the one in the toolbar. Like,
Oh, the toolbar one is basically, usually it corresponds to the snap in the main sort of window.
Right.
But basically the way I have it set is, I have this correspond to the piano roll as well.
Really?
Like it's usually, set to, like, you set it here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just put it on main, so like I can quickly just switch things here as well.
Oh, wow.
That's just basically how I work. Yeah.
Yeah. You have putting me over there.
Mm-hmm. When I'm writing melodies, the way I have the synth set up is like, I'm trying to think now. In the voicing tab, I'll have it set to mono. So basically that means only one note can play a single line. So if I play two notes at once, it only plays one. So like that means I can add a slide to each note. Slides for each note. So that's like, if you've ever downloaded any of my MIDIs, usually like, a lot of my notes will overlap. And if you decide to remix any of mine, don't like use a not mono sim, because it really kills me every time I hear a remix and someone's like, set this for mono. Since like, if I play this now when it's not in, if it's in polyphony, it sounds like. Well, I've done it pretty clean here, but usually I have notes like drag on like this, so it creates this really dissonant sound, sort of like notes overlapping all the time, so yeah. Set that back to mono.